Good day, Kavibal, and welcome to our Learn at Home Facebook Live learning session. For the discussion today, the topic will be on what parents need to know, parental engagement in securing students' online safety at home. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. Make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions on the comment box allotted during the session and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, Kavibal. And now, to proceed with our webinar this evening, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker today. Mr. Jayson E. Barza is a graduate of Bachelor of Science, major in Biology for Teachers from Philippine Normal University. He takes up Master of Arts major in Science Education in Rizal Technological University. Currently, he teaches the subject Earth and Life Science in Senior High School Department of Rizal High School Division of Pasig City. He also experienced teaching in Mandaluyong High School where he spent teaching science in various grade levels and conducted continuous improvement program about students' integrative learning on math and science. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Mr. Jayson E. Barza.
Thank you, Miss Jillian, for that warm introduction. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all the teachers present tonight and to all the students and their parents and families whom are watching right now, may it be at the comforts of your home or any place through which you can watch this Learn at Home Facebook Live session brought to us by Bibal Group. Let me begin by presenting the title for tonight's session. So, what I would like to share with you tonight is about what parents need to know: parental engagement in securing students' online safety at home. This topic is somewhat timely with our current situation in our education setting, where it tackles about how parents, with the help of our teachers, play a significant role in supporting and protecting our students' health and learning, especially that we are facing a challenging transition from classroom to virtual or distance learning. To continue, let me read first our objectives for tonight. At the end of this webinar session, attendees should be able to answer the following questions. How can I help on building a collaborative relationship among teachers, families, and community members? Secondly, how can I aid in recognizing and addressing students' needs in any class in an online platform? And last, how can I maximize embracing a philosophy of partnership and collaboration where support and responsibility are shared to ensure students' online safety at home? So upon reading the objectives, I know some of you might be having a question generated on yourselves. Like for example, do I really provide for the needs of my child in terms of his or her academic safety? Sapat na ba na ibigay ko na ang mga pangangailangang material mula sa kanyang paaralan? Or should you also reflect by asking yourself, ligtas ba o may patnubay na natatanggap ba ang aking mga anak sa online learning platform of education? Bilang magulang, paano ko sila nabibigyang gabay? If these questions triggered you somehow, then this session will try to open up your sense of involvement as a parent in ensuring your child's online security at home. Moving on with our topic, I would like to show you first a particular scenario from which we can easily identify the factors that brought us to our current situation. Before the pandemic, we normally live our ways of learning inside the four walls of the classroom. Not until then, a new normal comes into picture by all means, affecting our ways and methods as parents and teachers, which poses a bigger challenge to our educational platform. Thus, the protocol for distance learning or blended learning was introduced. And the rest or all the concerns seem to place most of our thoughts in the feeling of insecurity and sometimes adversity. This scenario leads us to some sense of confusion, wherein we tend to question technicalities when it comes to the usage of technology and as long as online platform of education is concerned. Here are some questions that arise from some of our parents. Hindi ko po alam kung paano po mag-download. Hindi ko po makita, sir, yung file. I've set up an account and haven't touched any of it. I need help. Sir, saan po makikita ang security setting? Hindi po gumagana yung pinindot ko, sir, kanina. So until such time that we end up stressing ourselves, giving us the feeling of burnout, until we gave up and detach ourselves from that sense of responsibility and being accountable. Nawawala ang sense of involvement as a parent. We give up easily just for the reason that we don't know what to do next. And it is very important for us, parents, to make our children have this feeling of security. In that way, if we involve ourselves in supporting them in any way we can, they are less likely to experience emotional distress or disengage from school or learning. And as long as parent involvement is concerned, in our 30-minute talk tonight, I would like to give emphasis that parental involvement refers to the acts or practices of parents, caregivers, and guardians when they support their school-age children. On the other hand, as defined by Black 2009, familial involvement is another term used to identify parents, caregivers, and guardians who support children enrolled in some form of virtual schooling. So it may not only be the parents or the guardians at home who may get involved with the students' learning, but also in one way or another, the sense of involvement may also come from every person who are with us at home or any family member or relative from whom we can turn to whenever we have questions to address. Whereas a parent refers to any individual, parent, caregiver, or guardian who is the primary support person for any student engaged in K to 12 online learning. And also, let me just show you how parental involvement narrows down to a description of parents in terms of their shared responsibility in school. So parental involvement refers to the practices engaged in by parents to support their own children who are enrolled in any of these forms of K to 12 online learning platform. They are responsible only for her or his own children enrolling in the school. He or she may or may not be an employee of the school and provide student support away from the physical presence of the school. According to Epstein, 1987, and Dempsey and Sandler from 2005, parents' engagement can be differentiated in such a way that, for Epstein, parents are responsible to provide for students' basic physiological and academic needs. Parents also should participate in school to home communications, and parents should assist with school activities and attend extracurricular events. And lastly, parents should be involved in learning activities at home and help students to develop the academic and social skills they need to be successful. Meanwhile, it has been given emphasis that school and home involvement, when placed together, can become a powerful tool to successfully achieve our students' learning. It entails encouragement, under which we can ask ourselves, paano natin hinihikayat ang ating mga anak na magpatuloy sa pag-aaral sa kabila ng pandemya? Second one is modeling, where we can reflect bilang mga magulang paano natin mabibigyang halimbawa o modelo ang edukasyon sa mata ng ating mga anak. Third, reinforcement. Sa anong positibong pamamaraan natin maipapamalas ang kagustuhan ng ating mga anak para magpatuloy sa pag-aaral. And then lastly, we have the instruction. Natutulungan ba natin sila sa mga gawaing pampaaralan? When we use these core concepts of parental involvement, it only goes to show that parental involvement becomes a missing link in securing our child's safety at home in such a way that parental involvement makes our children tend to do better on their performance. Second, parents and children enjoy a deeper interaction. Children show improved self-esteem and self-worth, improved confidence, and better behavior. Fourth, children complete homework more easily and consistently. And last, parents can pinpoint students' key areas for improvement. So napakalaking bagay po ang naidudulot ng parental involvement at home and in school. As stated, it affects their performance positively at bukod sa pagkakaroon ng interaksyon at malalim na koneksyon ang mga magulang sa kanilang mga anak, lubos pa nilang nalalaman ang mga areas for improvement ng kanilang mga anak. And in connection with this, we can now figure out on how to address their needs in terms of online security at home. So you try to ask yourself, how can I make sure if my child is safe online? And what can I do? What can I offer to protect them? So with the next slides, I'll be giving some tips for our parents and parent teachers that they may consider on how can you engage yourselves in gearing students' online safety at home. And to continue, as you can see in our slide, this slide shows how I categorize the cyber safety concerns to more specific subtopics. It includes the following areas. internet safety, privacy and security, relationship and communication, cyberbullying and digital predators, self-image and identity, information and literacy, creative credit and copyright. So we all know that as part of the distance learning or blended learning offered to us by the Department of Education, it comes along with the fact that aside from answering the modules, we need to get involved with their usage of cell phones, laptops, and the internet as well. Internet is such a powerful tool, but it also comes with fair share of risk. So, as parents, what can you do to ensure our kids' safety? In terms of internet safety, it may all start with our students. If there is no proper guidance, our kids are free to post anything that could actually put them in danger. So, as parents, it is very essential to converse with them openly. Let us make time to talk to our children openly. Let us check them time to time. It is very important to remind them that everything they post online represents a picture of who they are, and it would be very hard to remove them later. So the next question is, what can we do to help them? Number one, let us try to engage our kids in a conversation to explain the consequences of regretful posts and minimize the impact of the post or their post by asking your kids to take it down or ask others to delete it and report it to the website. In terms of their privacy and security, cyberstalkers can access your kids' personal information from their online profiles. This information can be used for exploitation and threat. So what can we do? And on addition with that, this information can be used to spend money under your name or even harass or threaten your kids. So as parents, we should be able to require login approvals, teach your kids to block users whom they don't trust or someone that can hack their accounts. Teach them to set all private sharing to friends only. Always take time to review their posts. Allow only their friends to post on their timeline and set their accounts privately. Next is relationship and communication. In terms of relationship and their communication, let us be reminded that students or kids should not fall into phishing scams. Messages can contain links directing the learner to fake websites or drop malwares into their devices. So what can we do to help them? First, let us teach them to question emails before taking actions. Second, check the links before clicking. And last, report suspicious emails to the actual companies on the contact forms on the website. The next issue is about cyberbullying and digital predators. In terms of bullying and cyber predators, this may be rooted from online interactions that may seem hard to trace. If you are on a computer, it seems like normal rules are easier to break without consequence, which includes cyberbullying or visiting inappropriate sites. So what can we do to help our kids? First of which, we can try convincing our kids to talk to you if they are being bullied. Report any bullying instances to the teacher, block and report perpetrator social media accounts, and convince your kids not to respond to any unfamiliar messages. In terms of self-image and identity, you will always be required to fill in some information. So like for example, whenever we have our Gmail accounts, Yahoo accounts, During this time, kailangan na kailangan natin yung mga yan. But then, however, if this information gets into the wrong hands, you could be a victim of identity fraud. So what can we do to help our children? First, ask your kids to be careful in posting and or sharing their personal address, email, or mobile number. Check if the details are really needed and share the minimum information. Monitor their internet and phone activity. And lastly, explain consequences of their actions. How about information and literacy? Educate your child about the scary and unpleasant content on the internet, which may frighten or discomfort them. So, what can we do to help our kids in terms of information, misinformation, and literacy? First, we can enable safety mode to filter out potentially unacceptable content. Second, familiarize yourself with the pages your child has visited and block those sites you don't want them to see. And then create a safe list of websites that you allow your children to visit and tell them to never disclose their passwords to anyone. And then lastly, we have our issues on creative credit and copyright. It's very important to know about the rights to copyrighted work and what piracy and plagiarism are along with the consequences of them. So what can we do to actually help our kids out of this? First, set boundaries for internet usage. Second, regularly check on visited websites. Remove their ability to pay for any app services on their mobiles or tablets. And remind them to properly indicate reference materials and sources. So there you have it. Those are examples or some of the few tips that hopefully help you somehow in setting your goals in ensuring your child's online safety at home. So again, given those tips, some of us might be questioning, how can we do that? How could it be possibly done? From which it will lead us to reassess ourselves in addressing the issue further. If we will try to address the issue further, we can come up with these 3 points. The first of which is that parents and students have different views on online safety. So what is the challenge? The challenge is to break that wall or barrier between the parent and the student by building trust and shared responsibility regarding the use of technology. Communication and listening to them is the number one key to online safety. Second point is that or students are considered as a resource for parents to also enhance their digital literacy. Aminin man natin, sa hindi, ang mga bata ngayon, mas may alam pa sila sa atin pagdating sa paggamit ng mga gadgets at pagdating sa usage of internet. So what can we do? The challenge that we should accept on this part is that we should learn from their self-discoveries and experiences. Our children can help us by them using their prior knowledge and experiential learning. A two-way process beneficial and vital on both sides, should I say, if they can learn from us, we can also learn from them. And last point in which we can address from those issues concerning cyber concerns, diversity of parenting styles or parenting styles. As parents, we are expected to set rules and expectations regarding online engagement. As parents also, tayo pa rin ang masusunod sa kung paano mapapanatili ang wastong paggamit ng gadgets and internet. Maybe we can impose strict consequences and strategies on a positive approach. Again, the aim of this talk is to at least refresh and share with you some key points that you can apply at home. If you have other suggestions or comments that are not being mentioned or discussed, please feel free to lay them down on the comment section. Okay, now, as we come to end our 30-minute talk, Sharing for tonight, I just would like to share also with you the Learn at Home kits, the new now of learning experience brought to us by Bibal, which contains supplements, activity sheets, test booklets, and academic books, which can help us in assisting our students' learning capacity at home. And also, we can gear up homeschooling learning with Bibal academic books for grades 7 to 10. So it covers the five major subjects: science, math, English, Filipino, and social studies in one book. Packed with lessons and activities good for one quarter, each printed book contains 460 to 496 full color pages, designed for grade 7 to 10. So if you would like to avail, get these books for only 499 pesos each by visiting their website shop.bibalgroup.com to place your orders. And for questions and concerns, you may reach them via their email at customercare@bibalgroup.com and hotlines of 0906-416-7188, 0921-511-9377, and their landline 5807-400 local 805. And also, please take time to like and share their social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Bibal Group. So before I end up on my sharing tonight, I would like to thank the Bibal Group for this opportunity to share my knowledge to all of the viewers and to all of our students, parents, and teachers whom are with us tonight. Thank you, and thank you so much, dear parents, teachers, and students, for staying and for listening for tonight's talk. And now, to end my talk, I would like to share you this one. With all the key points we discussed tonight, my realization goes along with how can we embrace these changes? How can we deal with the new normal in education, despite of the bulk of challenges we are experiencing? So I know that it is something new to all of us, but there is nothing impossible if we help hand in hand together. Let there be no reason for us to stop the child's right to education. Parental engagement at home is as important as teachers' responsibility in school. So during one of my PTA meetings I conducted, let me throw back a quote I'm always telling the parents of my students. Let me quote and read what I mentioned to them. As we save and build our standards of education, it is also never too behind to raise the foundations of parents' engagement in schools. While teachers educate, learners master their craft. Parental involvement can fuel the bearings of the machine, for it is a multidimensional responsibility. And I believe bringing that perspective on the table will surely equip the young ones to be able to reach their academic potentials. If we, parents and teachers, make a positive connection, then we can fully engage our learners' potential and capacity and sustain a lifelong learning, even during this time of pandemic, where safety and learning can both be achieved. Once again, I'm Mr. Jayson Espedillon Barza on behalf of the Bibal Publishing Group saying thank you and stay safe. And we hope you had your takeaways from this session tonight. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. Any last reminders to our viewers for today po?
Wala naman, ma'am. Okay na po.
There we have it.
Thank
In
you po.
behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank our speaker for today for this very eye-opening and insightful learning session. It is an honor to have you with us today, sir. And to all our Kavibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. Don't forget to register to get your e-certificate of participation. We also encourage you to subscribe and watch on our official Vival Facebook and YouTube channel. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang araw sa ating lahat.